Hey guys, it's Jess and I'm coming back to you today with another video, and this time I wanted to come on here and tell you guys about this one time when I failed, completely failed at making a bullet journal. So I'm going to put what's that guy's name? Ryder Carroll. I'm going to put Ryder Carroll's initial bullet journal video in the description box for you guys to see, just in case you aren't familiar with how bullet journaling works and how it's supposed to be done. So yeah, I watched his video like a couple of months ago and I got so invested in it and so inspired, and then I started watching Amanda Rachel Lee and I subscribed to her on YouTube, and because she was making all these like elaborate setups and things, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go run out and get my own bullet journal and I'm gonna do that myself. If you watch any bullet journal video on YouTube, people swear by the Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal. People swear by that bullet journal. Everyone has that bullet journal. And I looked on Amazon and those journals are like $20. And I told myself that I was not going to buy a $20 Leuchtturm bullet journal if I wasn't 100% absolutely sure that I was going to keep it up and that I was going to actually enjoy it. And that turned out to be the smartest decision of my life, because I did not keep this bullet journal up. I did not keep this bullet journal up at all. So I'm actually a little proud of myself that I made that decision, because I ended up going to buy a cheap journal from Office Depot. This journal is from Office Depot. It cost me like $7. I think it was $6.99, and I told myself, I was like, I'm going to practice in this bullet journal, and then if I don't like it, then it's okay, no harm, no foul. I didn't spend $20 for a bullet journal. So yeah, so I ended up buying this journal. It's actually grid pages, lined grid pages. So it's not the dotted grids, it's the lined grid pages. And I ended up just decorating it with this sticker from the, it's from a Mamby sticker book, the Quotes Mamby sticker book. And I just decorated it with a little quote right here. And this is actually a pretty good dupe, I would say, for the Leuchtturm. I would say, if you're just starting out like me and you're cheap like me, it has two ribbons here that you can bookmark for your collections or whatever else you need. And then it also has this little pocket in the back, which is pretty handy. And then it has your little ribbon deal right here so that you can put, so it's a lot, so it's, you have a lot of bookmarks in this journal. And it also came with a pen loop, and I accidentally was like fumbling around with it a lot and it broke off. So but the pen loop was probably right here, because I see glue right here. This is the actual journal. Like I said, I paid $6.99 for it, so no harm, no foul. And I didn't even get a chance to like decorate these pages because I didn't care for it. I didn't really care for the initial setup and all the work that it takes to set up a bullet journal. I didn't really care for it. So, you know, I made a key, I made my index. I just didn't decorate any of these pages. I did my future logs, and I kind of liked how this turned out. I just didn't really, like I said, by the time I set this all up and then it was time to go back and actually like fill in the actual things that I needed to fill in for the future log, I was tired of it. Like, I just didn't want to do it anymore. So that's why a lot of this is blank and empty, because I didn't want to do it anymore. I decided to just put washi and stickers down instead of drawing, like, you know, an Amanda Rachel Lee or, you know, a lot of the other YouTubers out there. Yeah, I'm not an artist at all. My brother got all the artist genes. I did not get the artist genes, but in the family. So these are my collections pages. I was actually the most excited about these collections pages, and I made a movies to watch, and I did my little cinema reel, and then a shows to watch. The point of collections and a point of an entire bullet journal is for it to be a planner, a to-do list, and just like a basic overall notepad for your life, all in one specific journal. So you have these movies to watch, you have these collections, like I said they're called, and you can write down and you can make collections about anything you want. So I have movies, I have shows, and then I did books that I want to read. You can do some on, I think people have done some on, your YouTube statistics. If you're on YouTube, people have done collections on quotes or like hand lettering or like doodling. Like people have been very creative, like just researching collections. You can do collections for basically anything you can think of, and they're just to-do lists that you can keep referencing throughout the year and throughout your life. So I did these collections. What ended up turning me off of bullet journaling was weekly and daily spreads. Monthly, weekly, and daily spreads actually turned me off, because I think I like planning so much, and with a planner, these monthly spreads and the weekly spreads are already there. Like, they're already in your planner. But with a bullet journaling, you have to manually set them up, and I didn't want to do that. So basically, this is how I did my monthly for June. And you're supposed to put like to-do list and other things over here. I started out doing a YouTube thing and then didn't finish it. I didn't have the motivation. Like I said with my future log, I didn't have the motivation to like write it in. By the time I was done filling out these boxes and counting boxes and making sure that everything was neat and organized and making sure that the boxes were equal among 7 days, and writing out June, and then writing out this to-do list and doing all that, I didn't even feel like writing it in. I didn't even feel like writing out what I needed to do, so that's what really turned me off of bullet journaling are these monthly and weekly spreads. And then honestly, I don't have that much going on day to day, as far as I don't have that much variety day to day in my life, because I have a full-time job. So daily spreads were just not a thing that I wanted to keep track of, because it would be the same thing. It'd be go to work, come home, go to work, come home, go to work, watch Pretty Little Liars, come home. I tried to stick with it for as long as I could. I think I did 4 weeks in here, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and by that time I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So then this was me just kind of practicing with a quote, and yeah, I tried to give it my all, and then I stopped. That was an example of a daily log. Like I said, I don't do that much day to day, so it was very short and to the point. But yeah, so I didn't want to finish doing this bullet journal, so it turned me off of doing bullet journals altogether. But I came up with a solution for this. So one thing that I really liked about my bullet journal were the collections, and I decided to just take my Recollections Planner, and this is my Recollections Creative Year Planner, and I decided to do a collections piece in my Recollections Planner. So you know how in a Recollections Planner you have these grid pages, and I've never ever known what to do with these grid pages until now, when I started doing bullet journaling, and when I stopped doing bullet journaling. But I decided to make a collections page and put it make a collections page, like a collections section, I guess you would call it, and put it at the beginning of my planner. So I have my little title page that I drew, and then I tried to kind of like do a little bit of doodling, but I have my films to watch, kind of like I did in my actual bullet journal. And I don't have that many films right now to watch, but you know, I still have a little bit of room just in case, you know, I need to add more to this. And then I have my TV shows to watch, and I kind of changed the format of it. So I have the name of the TV show, and then I have the number of episodes that it has. So whenever I finish watching an episode, I'll color it in. So like with Shameless right here, you know, I have this yellow Papermate Flare pen, and so I'll just color in that I watched episode 1 of Shameless, and that's how it's gonna work. So I like how this works. I like the layout of it because it allows me to kind of keep track of exactly where I am in case, you know, Netflix forgets or or I forget, you know, what episode I'm on. You know, I can keep going back and referencing this in my collection. And then books to read is the same format as how I had in my bullet journal. And then I have a master chore list. I actually got this particular spread off Pinterest, and I haven't actually like practically used this yet. So I'm almost certain, because it looks a little short. So I'm pretty sure that once I actually like get up and start like cleaning up and doing these things weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly, then this list will get longer. So for now, I just kind of put this in here as kind of like a placeholder. I'm pretty sure I'm going to redo this, and I'll show you guys how that looks if I ever redo it. And then as far as decoration, like I said, I'm not the best artist, so I put this ephemera and this washi that I got from the ephemera that comes from a Project Life core kit, and then the washi is just what I have just kind of lying around in my collection. And then I put the washi on the holes of this just to kind of reinforce these pages a little bit. And then this page is actually just a list of questions. I actually wrote this out a long time ago, actually before the year started, and I'm not even sure where these questions come from. I'm pretty sure they come from Pinterest, but these are just like kind of life questions that I think are important for me to just kind of glance at, you know, frequently, just to make sure that I'm on track with my life and just kind of being happy, just kind of getting the best out of my life that I need to get out of it. So yeah. And so the best part about this is that if ever I do need extra pages for my TV shows or for my books to read, I can pull it from the back of my you know, just get another sheet of grid paper and stick it where the TV shows go, or stick it where, you know, whatever goes. And then my collections are all in one place versus in the bullet journal where, you know, in a bullet journal you kind of have to keep moving, and so all your pages kind of end up, you know, you might have a collection on page 50 and then a collection on page, you know, 5, and so all your collections are kind of all over the place. And for me, that drives me nuts. Like I need all my collections kind of in one place, so that alleviates that for my life. So yeah. And then, you know, and then the next section is my actual planner. So day to day, I don't have to do setups of my monthly and daily spreads because Recollections and Michael's did it for me. So, you know, I still have and this is undated, so it still gives me the leeway to kind of decorate it how I want to decorate it, and you know, draw out numbers or do whatever it is that I want to do, and you know, still have that flexibility without the hassle of drawing all the lines and making sure all the lines are straight and, you know, all that. So yeah, so that's how I have set up my bullet journal. And then the same with the weekly spreads. And like I said, for me personally, I don't do daily spread, like I don't do a daily log, so you know, that's not important to me, so that's fine if I don't have that. And, you know, as I go along, I'll definitely have more collections and things of that nature, and I can just continue to just kind of add that to the front, and then I can reference I can reference it at any time because everything will be housed in this planner. So that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening to me ramble about how I failed at bullet journaling. But I'm trying to make lemonade out of the lemons that I got from my bullet journal, you know. So that's it, you guys. I think the overall lesson of what I wanted to just kind of give to you guys is that it's all about what works for you. And if you don't, if you feel like you're not being as productive because, you know, you don't have the artistry or the creativity to do, you know, bullet journaling or whatever, then that's completely fine. It's all about doing what works for you. And specifically with these planner videos and these bullet journal videos and even my prayer and gratitude journaling videos, it's not about, you know, how pretty it looks. It's about productivity for you and what works for you. And I think that's why recollection planners and happy planners to some extent are so customizable, because you don't necessarily have to do what the next person does. It's all about you being productive and maximizing your productivity. So that's it, guys. That's my little speech. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.